Some time ago, I spoke about the biggest disease of the 21st century, which is FOMO, the fear of missing out. And therefore, we have this constant need of putting ourselves in multiple situations, in projects, in learning skills, in training programs. We want to be the great social entertainer. We want to be the great professional. We want to be the great athlete. But now, post the pandemic, I feel that there is a new one that's emerging. And I call it the FOJO, which is the fear of joining. In the fear of joining, because we've gone through uncertainty and maybe scarcity and, of course, loss in this period of pandemic, there is a sense of anxiety and even a sense of fear that's probably set into us, or that's gone deep within us, that is probably creating armors around us and kind of inviting us to be in our safe shells and not go out and venture and take risks, because this may not be the right time to take risks. But I just want to share my 2 bits on that. Number 1, don't let fear stop you from an opportunity that may open new doors, new avenues, take you to new heights. There is no guarantee for anything. There's no guarantee in good times things would work. There's no guarantee in bad times things won't work. For me, my mantra is there's never a better time than today. And I'm sure a lot of you have already heard that. So I want you, or I invite you, to be conscious about not falling into FOJO, and don't miss on joining in interactions and new opportunities, or thinking of doing something new in this space, reaching out to people, even though we need to still keep that social distance. But don't miss creating beautiful moments of experience for yourself. Stay happy and stay well.
Hi everyone. I was weeding my garden today, and as I took out these hundreds and hundreds of weeds, a thought suddenly struck me and I wanted to share with all of you. I was trying to pull out this one weed, and the roots of this had gone really, really deep, and I really had to dig it out. And interestingly, the roots had gotten entangled with a beautiful tree that you see right there. And it was very difficult for me to pull out the weed without impacting the beautiful tree. It took me about half an hour to pull out one silly, stupid weed that was wrecking it all. And it just made me wonder, if I had just regularly weeded the garden, it would have been so much easier. And I wonder, when we have our negative thoughts, perhaps they are like those weeds, which kind of get into deep roots and start impacting some of our positive beliefs and positive mindsets as well. So, can we begin to check our negative thoughts the moment they start cropping up? Can we start weeding out our negative thoughts the moment they start cropping up, rather than wait for the weeds to become deeper and stronger and start impacting the positive side of us as well? So watch out for your negative thoughts today, and my wish for you is weed them out before they grow strong roots. Have a good day, everyone.
Hi everyone. Just come back doing a lab session. My partner Gatik and I run these labs for corporates, where we get a team together, create a safe space so that people open up and have authentic conversations, have the courage of saying things that they wouldn't usually say at work, and then move out as a stronger, more cohesive and harmonious team. And in some of the lab sessions, they're beautiful reminders for myself as well on how I operate and how I am in relationships and how I can work on relationships too. And today's reminder was more about letting go. Sometimes when we get hurt, or when somebody does something that hurts us, we hold on to that incident. We hold on to the emotion for a much longer time. And what happens after that is, when the person who's hurt us has done many things to make up or has moved on in supporting us, we miss those opportunities. We don't see the support coming. We don't see the love or compassion coming, because we're holding on to an incident that happened some time ago. And that's because we've not been able to close that loop. And because we're not able to close that loop, there is a hole inside us that doesn't allow us to move forward. And what it does in the end is you miss out on opportunities, you miss out on the love, you miss out on the compassion, you miss out on a beautiful budding relationship because we just did not have the courage to have that conversation at that point of time. One thing I've realized is it doesn't take too much courage to have these conversations. Yes, it feels difficult. It feels huge going to the person who hurt you and say, hey, you know what? You hurt me when you said this or when you did this. But when you eventually do it, there is so much of relief. There is so much of trust that starts building. There's so much of opportunities that you get in creating a beautiful relationship that we would have lost just because we didn't take that extra step, that little bit of courage of having that conversation. So my invitation and wish for all of you is, can you think of a conversation that needs to be closed, a loop that needs to be discussed, sharing with somebody who hurt you, but also sharing your intention, what you want to do with that relationship. So experiment a little, see what that gives you. Take a baby step, because that will take you to much larger, much tougher steps. So happy experimenting. All the courage is within you. Take care.
So about 20 years back, when my wife and I met, we decided at that time that we wanted to move to Australia, 20 years back. And we filed in the papers, we did everything. But unfortunately, at that point of time, there's something unfortunate that happened in my life. My father was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And we had to put all those plans aside, and we decided to stay back and take care of him and spend time with him. And this was about 20 years back. And eventually after that, 4 or 5 years after that, my dad did pass away. And I got back to the regular routine of life, the work, the kids, the going to office, the promotions, the proving yourself, and all of that kind of took over everything, and I was completely consumed by it. And this dream of wanting to move to Australia just kind of took a backseat till something happened a couple of years back. Number one, we set up TransforMe about 7 years back, and it was doing pretty well. It is doing pretty well, and we wanted to go global. That's the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened is that the place that we were living in, the condition got a little worse in terms of quality of living, and that kind of triggered a lot of thoughts. And the third thing that happened about a year and a half back is that my wife and I took a holiday to this part of the world, to Australia and New Zealand, and for a cousin's wedding, and I just fell in love with the place. But this time around, we went back, and a couple of things changed for us in the way we wanted to chase this dream. Number one, we were a lot more disciplined in planning it, in researching and figuring out what we wanted to do. Number two, we held each other accountable on doing things that we needed to do to make it happen, to make this dream a reality. And I think the third one was the most crucial for us, which was that we listened to everybody, giving us a lot of advice, but most importantly, we listened to our own inner voice and what it was telling us. And that was one big takeaway from me: listen to everyone, but most importantly, listen to that inner voice. And I think that's how we were able to convert this dream into a reality now and move to Australia. The reason I share this with all of you is every time all of us are sometimes faced with these dilemmas, these decisions, these big things that we want to do, and something starts, and then other things in life kind of take over, and this dream kind of takes a backseat, and it never really fructifies. I think the difference in making a dream a reality lies in, number one, disciplined execution of what you really want to do. Number two, having a partner, having somebody who can hold you accountable to it. And number three, most importantly, listen to everyone, but most importantly, listen to your inner voice. So I wish you all the very best in chasing that dream, and not just chasing it, but converting your dream into reality.
Hello. Today I'm going to talk about a concept around overthinking. And I know some of you have asked me to speak on overthinking and how do we stop overthinking. And let's face it, we all tend to overthink at times. It leads to procrastination, it leads to frustration, and most importantly, it leads to inaction, where we don't achieve anything. Before I talk about how to overcome it, let's figure out why it's there in the first place. It's obviously there to serve a purpose. It's there to either protect us, to tell us that we need some more time before we make a decision around what we're thinking about. It's probably there to tell us we are fearful or we have some emotions that we're holding on to. So let's be aware of what's happening over there. Today I was coaching a wonderful woman leader, and we started off with what goals she wanted to work on. It was all professional goals, and she wanted to talk about how do I pick up goal that drives me, motivates me, engages me, because I'm feeling lost. I'm feeling that I've lost purpose. And as I dug deeper on her goal, I realized it had nothing to do with work goals. It was coming more from a space of personal frustration because there were certain decisions she had not taken, certain actions she had not taken, and therefore that was leading a lot of emotions around negativity, about being defensive, being stuck, not feeling happy. And the more we explored, we realized that there were certain conversations with her parents she had not taken because she didn't want to hurt them in those conversations. And there was a lot of internal narrative that she was telling herself that maybe they'll feel disappointed if I speak to them or I share the decision with them. And that led to a lot of, releasing and reliving those moments as well. What came out of the session was that it's time to stop overthinking, because it's creating a lot of baggage, a lot of burden, and it's time to take action. And the action could be the first step, which was in the moment in our conversation that I need that decision that was made, that I need to have that conversation with my parents. And the next step is, of course, having it. So sometimes when you're sitting with overthinking, my first question that I ask myself is, how long have I been thinking about this topic? Has it been more than a month? If it's more than a month, then it's time to take action. And the action may be just maybe creating a list of pros and cons. Is it going to serve me if I take an action or not? And then start taking baby steps towards it. At least there is a sense of movement, there's a sense of doing. And as we're able to do that, we start to stop feeling that we're getting trapped in this thought of thinking and not moving forward, in the sense of overthinking. So I hope I've been able to share some insights on how do you address overthinking. Has it been a long time? Have you been thinking about it for a long time? Can you think of some actions that you can take between today and tomorrow regarding that? And it could be an action towards that big action. And then notice what you're feeling after that. Are you feeling a sense of relief? Are you feeling a sense of movement? So try that and let me know how it goes for all of you. Good luck.